This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
It's a chilly start for our resident herd of impala on quarantine. It also seems like it's been a, predator-filled start for them too, because we've heard jackals alarm calling in the area. There's also signs for a male leopard moving about. So, hopefully with a bit of luck, we'll be able to find him somewhere around here as he prowls on the edges of quarantine on this, your very own live African safari. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this, your sunrise safari. Hope that you are well and feeling sprightly wherever you may be, whether it be this side of the world and it's the morning or, late afternoon, evening, wherever it is. Now, we are busy looking for a male leopard, which I'll get into shortly. But in the meantime, my name is Tristan. On camera, I've got David. And we are coming to you live from South Africa, from various parts of South Africa. And so we would love to interact with you guys. You can do so by using the hashtag WildEarth for Twitter, at FC on the YouTube chat streams, and any of the comment sections of the various other places that we stream to. And for kids, always nice to hear from the kids. Remember, you can send your questions through to kidssquestions@wildearth.tv. Right. Now, like I was saying, we're busy on the tracks of a male leopard. I've lost them somewhere there when we just started the kind of morning. Oh, no, there, I see them. They're still going. And I heard a jackal alarm calling just before we left. There's been a wildebeest shouting. One of the guests at Tumbeta thought they heard a leopard sawing. So we're going to try to follow these and just see where they go. The tracks are very difficult at the moment because, there's no light. So hard to see them, particularly on hard ground like this. So I'm just trying to kind of go slowly in places, but here we go. These should be able to be visible for you guys. You see them there, David? I don't know if you can. Just over my shoulder here, that's probably the best spot to see them. You can see those little kitty tracks kind of moving through there. So he's already bypassed here, which is a good thing if he's walked this side, because it means he hasn't gone into this drainage on our left, which is the, I think I'm going to nickname it the Tingana drainage because of how dense it is. So this is at least meaning that he's still kind of plodding along on the road, and hopefully we can find it. I'm interested to see which leopard this is because, Tingana shouldn't really be sawing. He shouldn't be making too much of a vocalization. But you never know. Stranger things have happened. Maybe there's a resurgence in the old Duke, and he's coming back to life. Oh, I don't see any tracks going up, which means he must have cut this way. Okay, so just want to check a little bit further there because it looks like he might have gone off and around. I see some tracks far up the road. So here we go. He was here scent marked, and then from there, did he go back onto quarantine? All right, I'm going to go try and see what these tracks are doing. In the meantime, let's send you across to the weather for this morning's drive.
Let me start again. Good morning, everyone. It feels like I've been up forever, that I feel like it's clearly afternoon. We have a Misi at the Misi Kaya. Definitely not the best visuals I've ever seen, but we're going to try and work it. We just need a little bit more time to see how we can figure out getting better visuals for you. I am not sure if this is Novella or Intima's son from this angle. I definitely have not seen hyenas, or at least cubs, in a very long time. But my name is Lauren, and I do have Morgan on camera. That's his thumb. And I'm very excited to see what's in store today. Thoroughly enjoyed hearing about Tristan's sighting yesterday, me diving into bat biology. It was something different to talk about. And today, really want to spend time with hyenas naturally. That would be really, really important to me. So this is a little Gowrie den, to give you context. It's about 20 metres off Gowrie Main. And very often we are allowed to go in at the kindness of the property owner. So I would never go in without that permission offered. So we're just going to hang around and see. Was it an adult you saw, Morgan?
No, 2 years.
There was another hyena around for sure. But as you can see, the visuals are a little bit tricky. But they normally do pop out into Gowrie Main. Gowrie Main is our southern boundary. It borders Chitwa, Little Gowrie, Hoffman's, right all the way to the Arathusa Triple M side. It's a very long road and I love it. It's not aesthetically pleasing. I mean, you've got the power lines and it's definitely not beautiful, but it's just very productive. It's my favourite boundary line to check for animals crossing in and animals crossing out and, well, animals just hanging around on the boundary line, really. But either way, it's definitely not the best views, but it's more than we have seen in a long time. So, hello, little one. I really wish you would move dens back onto Djuma. Can you do that, please? Now, many of you are asking about the Nkuhuma male. I really don't have an update, everyone, and as soon as I do, I will tell you. I can, unfortunately, answer all the questions. I just don't have an update. He's injured. We've seen the injury. It's the leg. It looks broken. But I have no update on exactly which Nkuhuma male it is and where he is right now. But as you know, we always keep you updated. The Nkuhumas, sadly, they do come onto Djuma, yes. We do get to spend time with them occasionally, but I would say now they're definitely not the dominant pride residing over Djuma. I would say it's more the Talamatis now. Their territorial boundaries, of course, meet, but it's definitely the Talamatis out of the two of them that we get to spend more time with now. And it's just a shift. No one's kicking anyone out, no one's battling. It's just a natural territorial shift, which happens with season, resources, pressure, all sorts of things. But if any of you can tell me if this is Novella or Ntima's son, A, I'll be very impressed, and B, please do. I definitely can't. It's eating something, that's for sure. But I'll see what I can do. We can maneuver a little bit. We've obviously just got lots of vegetation, lots of bush in the way. But I have to say, I am glad we know the den. Little Gowrie was always a bit of a mystery for us before. But I'm glad I've seen this termite mound and I know exactly which den they're using. That in itself is at least helpful. Adrian, you must definitely be new to watching WildEarth, I think. Welcome. The matriarch is Ribbon. Miss Ribbon, who I have not seen in far too long. Far too long, Ribs. Where are you at, girl? She is a fantastically large female hyena who has one of the most interesting stories. I'm still trying to get my book finished on Ribbon and her story, but my goodness, time is something I just don't seem to have these days. But she was the lowest ranker in the clan. It's a very small clan, and she lost a lot of cubs, and she always had this sort of low, quiet demeanor. She was bullied. She didn't seem to ever appear joyous. Yes, I'm anthropomorphizing. And one day she just decided, I've had enough. I have literally had enough of being the lowest ranker. I'm going to challenge the status quo, and I am going to take the reins and become the matriarch. There was a huge matriarchal takeover that happened in WildEarth camp. That was quite something in all regards. Seeing James Hendry run out his bedroom in his underwear to the screams from the hyena, it was just quite a night in general, to be honest. It was like there was a murder happening. The vocalizations were extremely intense and really uncomfortable to listen to. And the next again day, Ribbon's matriarch. Corks is not. June is injured, and whew, the story goes from there. So Ribbon's now been matriarch for quite a while. She sadly has lost one of her cubs, Shimbulu, to the Talamatis, but Ngwazi is still thriving. That's how it goes out here in the wild. The predators all do attack each other, and they all do, the mammalian predators all do attack each other, and they all do kill one another's offspring if they can. And that's life being at the top of the food chain, I'm afraid. Hello, you? Oh, wait. Oh, there's another one. Okay, I need to try and see how I can work my magic here. Okay, I am going to try and work my magic. You know, those who don't believe in magic will never find it, but I believe, and right now I'm going to find it.
Good luck, Lauren. Hope you get a visual of your hyena. We're on these tracks still for this male leopard, and they are getting very, very, very fresh. So let's see. I can smell his urine from where he's been scent marking. So I'm hoping he's just on the road somewhere here. He's just kind of walking the same route that Kalamba took yesterday. So let's see. Let's see if we get lucky and we find him. It's like deja vu following tracks here along this road. From yesterday, we did the exact same thing. Amazing how quickly leopards can cover ground, though. You don't even realize it, especially with males. When they get going, it's a fast pace that they set. But I don't see his track right now, so I'm going to double check. It looks like he's cut off somewhere here. So when you're tracking leopards, you always know where they kind of go, or you always know where to check. So in a road like this, when there's a bend, always check the inside bend. They are lazy in some respects. They don't like to... Anything there, David? Negative. Must have cut off. I see fresh buffalo tracks here as well, so I wonder if these buffaloes just gone round them. Let's just do this block quickly and just see, otherwise we'll have to come back to these tracks and just have a look again. Either that or this leopard has heard us and it's Mulawati and he's just ducked off the road, which is very possible. I was hoping it was going to be Tavangumi. That's what I was hoping for. Alright, I'm going to keep on these tracks. I'm going to try and see if I can figure out where they've gone and see whether or not we can find this male.
Hello and welcome everybody on your live African Safari Bush. My name is Dyke Koza and Owen behind me on the camera. We're just sitting here and trying to listen because we had lions roaring in this area in camp. So we're just gonna sit here, and while we're sitting here and try listen, see if we can hear these lions, we're just gonna watch this beautiful sunrise. As you can see, it's rising from the east and some beautiful trees, a little bit of a mist. Even though it feels a bit cold this morning, we think it's gonna end up being a nice and beautiful day. Let's hope these lions are gonna roar again so we can follow up on them. We're just hoping they're not on the other side, because we're quite lost the Kruger Park boundary. If you're not familiar with the Ngala Reserve, we're just on the western boundary of Kruger. Like, people think we're in Kruger Park, but we're definitely not. We're just a private concession that's separately managed by Kruger, just on the western side. So we just had lions roaring in this area. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna sit silently here and see if we can hear this lion roar again. Let's hope they do it, and then we'll find them. Might as well get to watch them do it while we're there, because it's not very often you watch lions do it while you're there. You normally hear them just like we did. Heard them from the camp roaring, and they all of a sudden gone quiet. But we're just gonna sit and hope they'll roar again. Let's hope to hear them not too long. As you can see, the sun is coming a little bit high up into the sky. Let's hope it's gonna be a very beautiful day and find lots of interesting stuff this morning. Yeah, so we're just gonna sit silently and hope these lions roar again. Yes, it is beautiful. There's not even a single cloud up there in the sky, Julia. Like I said, it's cold now, but it's going to be a really beautiful day. It will be really nice if we can find these lions, and then just after, when the sun shows up, and then we can have some beautiful viewing of these lions. Yes, it's going to be a really beautiful day today. Yeah, we're just going to sit here quietly, hoping to hear them roar again. It will be really nice to hear those lions roar, and then we can quickly go over there and wherever they are and find them. Let's sit for a few more minutes, see if we can hear them roar. I'm hoping they might do it, because there's more lions roaring quite far north from where we are, of which these guys may have been responding to those lions that you can barely hear them from where we are. So let's hope these lions are not that far, because I can hear, but that's faded quite far away from where I am. Yeah, Jackson, a lion's roar, another lion can easily pick that up about 12 kilometers, but us as human beings can hear that like 7 kilometers away, of which that's quite a distance. Like I said, I can hear another one quite far north from where I am, but it's faded, so it can even be further than what I think. But yeah, there are other rangers or guys in the reserve working on that area to see if they can find the other lions roaring. If they find them, we might as well go there and see them. So that's how far a lion roar can travel. Yeah, we're just gonna sit here another 5-10 minutes. Hope to hear this lions roar. Otherwise, we're gonna go over to Lauren and see what Lauren has found for us.
I have also been watching the sunrise. Again, we've tried to reposition. It's not amazing, I'm aware of that. If only there was no trees. There we go, that's what we've been watching. But I really do need my hyena fix. It's been far too long. Mr. Mareebs, who seems to love chasing hyenas, Darby and I had him the last time we were here, and he was chasing Ngwazi. So I do get my fixies every now and then, but it's not quite what I'm after. And they will move. Normally, what I found in my experience with following this clan, it's been about 3 years now, and they tend to stay at the sort of base camp, stay at that den that they're all in, the communal den, for quite a while. Then once they start to move dens, that means the cubs are getting older and they're getting a lot more mobile. They'll start to move dens regularly. So I'm hoping sooner or later they give this one up. No offense, little Gary, but we want them back. There's clearly a bone there that is just absolutely delicious. You can see how grey everything is. You see the winter colours. It's a very barren landscape. I mean, if there was summer, you wouldn't see this at all. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to see through this in any way, shape, or form if it was summer, that's for sure. Mandy, you are asking about the termite mound. It does actually depend if the termites are in it. If it's not an active termite mound, with the termites not sort of doing their thing, then I really don't know the temperature. It's going to depend on the season and the weather outside. Because naturally within a termite mound, you've got your sort of chimneys, your air ventilation tunnels, and all sorts of things which will allow for air to come in. So in winter it's going to be colder, in summer it's going to be warmer. But if it is an active termite mound, which is normally when the nest rises in summer, the termites are still there. They're just very, very sort of deep in the ground in winter because it's too cold, but in summer they'll come up much higher. And to combat overheating, if you like, the fungus-grown termites, at least these are the ones I'm referring to, they have a really highly effective air conditioning system. And it's normally maintained at a constant temperature of 32 degrees Celsius. Sorry, I don't know Fahrenheit. My brain does not work in Fahrenheit. But it's 32 degrees Celsius when the fungus-grown termites are there in an active den. This one you're looking at with hyenas inside it in winter, I could honestly not tell you the temperature. I think it would fluctuate. I think it would change depending on who's inside and the ambient temperature, of course. But naturally, for termites, they grow their fungus gardens. and they tend to them constantly, and it's actually the fungus that need the constant temperature maintained. So it really depends on what you're talking about. An active termite mound is very different from an old disused termite mound that has now been occupied by hyenas. Termite mounds are very complicated things. Actually, I'm going to try and show you a picture. Let's see if we can do this, Morgan. In this book, I brought it up. So if you look, this is a very basic termite mound in structure. And you see, this is sort of where all the activity happens. This is where you'll have the fungus. They're called the fungus combs. You'll also have the royal cell, this big cell here where the queen sits, and the king will sit with her, attending to her every move. Then you have the galleries, all sorts of galleries where you keep the eggs. So once the queen lays the eggs, the workers come and move them into the galleries. So they're moved away from the queen because she is getting larger and larger and larger. Yes. She puts on a lot of weight. Oh my goodness. And then, of course, you get the food stores. So just above the fungus combs where the fungus is actually doing the work, they'll store various different pieces of food. And then up here, you've got chimneys and ventilation. So this top part of a mound, any mound that you're looking at, nothing's actually happening here. It's just ventilation. It's actually just above the ground, and if not below the ground, where all the activity for a termite, if it's active, is happening. In winter, the termites will nest way, way, way below ground because it's far too cold. But I would say this one's not active. I would say that this is just the hyenas that are sitting in there having a great time. None of this is actually active anymore. So termite mounds are a lot more complicated than you would ever give them credit for. I mean, it just looks like an old mound to us, but actually inside is so intricate, it's so complex. If you were to slice a termite mound in half, right down to the bottom, you would be shocked at what you saw. Industrial engineers' termites. The backbone of the ecosystem. This entire ecosystem that you're looking at would not survive without termites. If we somehow eradicated all the termites, which is naturally not going to happen, you would not have this ecosystem. Even the hyenas need them indirectly. They need their mounds to stash their young. I really don't know which cup this is. I'm going to guess it's... I'm not going to guess. I'm going to stay here a little bit longer just in case we get some better views of our gorgeous Djuma clan.
As one of the industry's best and Fagasa-endorsed training institutes, NJ Moorfield Guide College produces professional guides of exceptional caliber and gives students from around the world an incredible experience. NJ Moore offers courses to suit all types of interests. The full-length career course results in a Fagasa-accredited qualification and the option of a 6-month internship at one of Moore Family Collection's luxury safari lodges. Shorter courses are a great introduction for those considering a career in field guiding or even a life-enriching experience in your gap year. With spaces still available in July, don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to live your African dream.
What fascinates me most about the animal circle of life is the intricacies between the large and the very, very small. I mean, it's very easy to go out there and find the large. Once you found the large, the cascading effect down to the small absolutely fascinates me. Alertness and situation awareness is by far the #1 aspect for protecting ourselves out on safari.
Catch up with the guides daily here on WildEarth.
This is a battle of two great carnivores of the African wilderness. Whew. Whoa! You don't want to be under those jaws. Definitely, this round goes to the lion. Look at that. Fantastic.
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
My name is Ross and I'm a field guide at andBeyond Phinda Private Game Reserve. I love getting questions from guests on WildEarth because I love sharing and learning information about nature with new people, and it also makes me feel like you're all joining me in real life. If you want to ask a question on WildEarth, then you need to register on our website. Once registered, go to our live safari page and submit your question below our live feed.
Good morning, and welcome to the dawn here. Anika training in Pridens, where it is nice and fresh this morning. A little bit chilly. Good morning, everybody. Hello, my name is Steve, joined by Paul on camera, and as always, we are very excited to have you with us. We thought we'd just spend a moment enjoying this wonderful view of the sun rising in the east. We did end our show last night with it descending to the horizon. We've had a few signal issues, so we've had to walk to get some signal, although I don't really know how all of that works. We are going to just scratch around here in the open areas of an area called Red Earth, see what we can find. I tried to find that little trapdoor spider that I had a little while ago, but I have not yet managed to find it. Last time I was here, we had a trapdoor spider in this open area. A very cool thing to see. It's lovely to take a moment just to check in with yourself each day. Many people start the day off running, out of bed and in the shower, and already their mind is on all the things they need to get done. I like to get up and meditate and contemplate the day. And those sort of funny sayings, everybody should meditate for at least 20 minutes a day. If you're too busy, you should meditate for an hour. Doesn't that make a lot of sense? I find through meditation that my day really sorts itself out. All those things that quite often overwhelm you don't overwhelm you because you've sort of contemplated them a bit. The mind calms down and then decisions are easily made. Henriette, a cup of coffee right now would be wonderful. Henriette says it's lovely to watch sunrise like this with a cup of coffee. Well, that's exactly it, Henriette. I mean, if anyone has the moment just to sit outside, watch the sun with a cup of coffee, and just to reflect on the day ahead, that's meditation, you know. You don't have to go and spend an hour sitting cross-legged, straight back, close your eyes. You don't have to do that. That is a form of meditation. But meditation is just bringing yourself into your body, into the moment. Be a cup of coffee, whatever it is that you need to have in the morning.
just to take your time to just contemplate. How many of you find yourselves waking up, jumping in the shower, jumping in the car, rushing all the way to work? You haven't even had a moment to take a deep in and out breath. Profound. It's profound what it can do to your day. It changes, and if you can do 2 minutes, 10 minutes, if you can do 45 minutes, an hour, this makes such a big impact on your life. I speak from my own experience. Getting up before the sun. Not always easy to get up before the sun, I can tell you. But it definitely does have some profound effects. A book I've been introduced to recently, but I haven't gotten to it yet. Another book by Robin Sharma called The 5 a.m. Club. Which talks about the importance of rising early. Importance of it on your day. Getting into some breathing, some stretches. All of these important things for one's being. Life isn't about working, everybody. Life isn't, the sole purpose isn't about making money and working. Working on yourself and being happy with yourself is most important. If you spend a few moments to quieten the mind and to just reflect on your day, you can have much better relations with work colleagues. You're much more productive at work. Where you're normally spending 8 hours on things, you can be spending 4 hours. Things like that make a huge difference in procrastination. And meditation brings one into the body. You become very mindful of what it is you're doing. And so you take less time to do it. As a known fact. We do enjoy bringing you these early morning sunrises. Okay, we're going to scratch around this open area, maybe focus on a few tracks this morning, and send you over the dike, who's on the move.
Yeah, we're just gonna be moving out of this area and try go into the central part of the reserve, because it seems like these animals have stopped roaring, so we're just gonna move into other parts of the reserve and see if we can pick up fresh signs. As I mentioned earlier, they may be roaring while they on the go. You never know, they may have come out on the road where we started behind us. If we're lucky, we might pick up some tracks there and follow up on those. Let's hope these animals are somewhere, outside. Like I said, we just on the boundary between us and Kruger, and I'm just hoping that they definitely not in Kruger, so we'll get to see these animals this morning before they find a place to settle down. Like I said, once they find a spot to lie down, it's going to be really difficult for us to find them. Yeah, otherwise, lions are not the only animals in the reserve. If we don't find the lions, we'll try this afternoon, look for them again. We might change your plan and try look for something else, either leopard. You can be looking for lions and find a leopard, or elephants, maybe buffalo, because this is an area where you never say no, because anything can happen. You can be looking for these animals, and then all of a sudden you get surprised by a different species of animal around the corner. Let's hope something happens this morning, because this is a beautiful morning to view animals in this kind of light. So as you can see, the sun is going higher up in the sky, hoping for this beautiful day to provide something really special for us. A leopard walking down the road can be very nice because sometimes these animals lie in this long grass. Yeah, otherwise, even though they're known as night hunters, they may roaring or they may just got attracted or hunting something, because they'll hunt in the day, especially when they're really hungry. Mornings like this is cool enough for them to still try and hunt. And they'll hunt and get successful even though they're known as night hunters. I've seen lions taking down buffalo or giraffe in the daylight, because these animals, when they're really hungry, they'll still try, even though the chances are very slim, because they can easily be seen by the prey if they try to hunt in the day, but they still get successful. So it's cheetah, wild dogs. They're known as day hunters, but for them as well, at full moon, if there's a moon up in the sky, if they're really hungry, they'll go out there, hunt, and still get something. So you never know. Let's hope they just came out on the road, because they may have been moving in the opposite direction as we went to where we thought they were calling from. Maybe they were moving in the opposite direction, came out on the road behind us. We're just going to check that road or double check the area where we came from and hope that there were some tracks that we can follow up on and find these lions that we're looking for. So that's the plan that we're gonna do for now, because we had no luck from where we had them earlier roaring. Otherwise, we'll go check the others that I thought they calling from a little bit far from where we were, and see if we can have luck on those. Otherwise, yeah, we're gonna spend another 10-15 minutes trying to find these lions, and then if we don't have any luck, we'll go look for other things or other species of animals that occur in the reserve, because we also have elephants, we've got buffalo, got lots of other species, because people sometimes want to see all the big animals. There's lots of other species that you can look forward to, like the giraffes. We do have wildebeest, we've got zebras, impalas, kudu, and then other small antelopes like steenbok, duiker, waterbuck, Ngala. We can sit and watch, because sometimes it's really interesting to sit and observe these small antelopes that people take for granted, because people want to see all the big animals. I know we all interested on different kind of species of animals. Some people want to see lions, some people want to see leopards, some people want to see giraffes, some people want to see hippos, of which they do okay in this reserve, which, even though we don't have a permanent flowing river, but there are water holes that we can go to, maybe see some hippos, because they just move from one water hole to another. So is the crocodiles. We do have them as well. Same thing for crocodiles, because we don't have a permanent flowing river, so they do exactly the same thing as these hippos. They just keep moving from one water hole to another. Yeah, but I'm sure and hope that something really special is gonna happen that we can see this morning. Let's carry on and see if we can find this lions.
Well, we're still trying to find this leopard. I have a very strong suspicion that we're looking for Mulawati here, and that we're going to have no chance. His tracks are so fresh, nothing coming out. He looked like he was lying on the road and then just ran off the road. That's the last track I had. But I heard something. impalas have been super jittery in here, and there was a big dust cloud, so that's why I'm actually in the block, is because I thought maybe he chased them and tried to grab one, or maybe was successful in grabbing one, so that's why I kind of came through, just to see if that dust cloud could maybe lead us to something. You see the road is right here, so the fact that we haven't found him in this is ridiculous, because it should be quite easy. The block is not big. Those impalas, there's two groups of impalas that I've seen here now, and they're quiet. There was a group of guinea fowl that were quiet, but he definitely comes in. So let's just go back to the last track and see if I can find anything. So the last track should be, just trying to see now, it should be somewhere maybe back a little bit. I can't remember now, it was somewhere close here. The last track was definitely behind us there. So he's somewhere here. I've just got to figure it out and find him. Like if it's Mulawati, though, we might be on a hiding to nothing, and we're not going to get much out of this. But if it's not him, it's always worth trying and seeing if we can find him. We're going to keep persevering for a little while. There's all the opportunity to find him, and so we'll keep trying. You're right there, Dobby.
So good morning from Tswalu Kalahari. Thank you for joining us on our early morning safari. My name is John. I'll be your guide for the morning, and behind the camera this morning we have Gert. So let's plod along and see what we can find this morning. So for our morning safari, again, it started pretty chilly. So we're going to move into the dunes again and see, once the sun pops up, see who's coming out in the early hours to warm up. So yeah, should be another spectacular morning. You can see ahead of us the early morning colors in the sky. As of yet, the sun has not risen, and obviously where we are at this current point is it'll take a little bit longer for us to see the sun, as it has to peek over the Koranenberg Mountains. But while we're heading out, we're going to send you over to Lauren and Djuma.
Surprise, everybody. Those who don't believe in magic. Hello, who are you? I don't even know anymore. Huh? You're cute, but I don't know who you are. Oh, yes. Want to guess novella? I think novella would be the right call, but I really could be wrong, everyone. I haven't seen novella or Intima's son in such a long time, and at this age, when they're developing, they get really, really fluffy, they get really hairy. You can see all this sort of extra hair around the neck, underneath the chin, and the spot pattern really starts to come out. There's a colour shift. So I'm just going to be honest with you and say I don't know which one it is. We're not going to stay here too long. There is an adult just in the drainage there. We don't have a view. It's very thick here, I'm afraid. But there's an adult sleeping down there. So we're okay to be here in terms of that. Don't worry. It's so nice to spend time with you guys again. Oh, don't give me that look. Just come back to Djuma. Can you stop being so cute? Goodness, I've missed this feeling, just coming here. Morgan and I drove a little bit fast to get here, and our eyeballs are just adjusting to the cold. Tears are running down my cheek, but that's okay, it's worth it. And this den actually is perfect, to be honest, because we can get eye level. We're not looking down on the animal, which is what we normally do because our cameras are high up. This is absolutely perfect. It's a really, really nice den. Little Gowrie, you have nice dens. But we've given all the correct permissions just to pop in and say hello. Yes. I know many of you are avid hyena experts. What do you think, novella or Djuma-san? I don't know who the adult is. If we drove, we could see, but I don't want to drive anywhere else. I've just taken this path down to the den and I'll leave from this exact path again. And the clan's changing. Cubs are getting older. Becoming, unfortunately, a little bit too independent for my liking. Seeing the cubs run around without an adult, they're just having fun, they're exploring, they are loving life. But predators are everywhere. Mammalian predators and aerial predators. A martial eagle really would not have too much trouble going for a cub this size. I've seen it with my own eyes in the Masai Mara. Not a hyena, but animals much bigger than this. So when I say predators, I'm not just talking about mammals. Lots of leopard activity around, really. Just leopards on every corner right now. Lions. And not only that, but everybody's hungry. Including myself. Are you hungry, Morgan? Yeah, Morgan's hungry. Everybody's hungry. It's winter, it's cold. It's not so easy to sneak up on your prey. It's barren. Not so easy to hide behind the thicket and ensure that the impala won't see you. The lambs have got bigger. Times are just tougher, and that's normal for winter. That is winter. That's the essence of this season. In summer, all the predators can hide in their own little corner and snack on whatever they want because it's plentiful. Midwinter, they cannot. Water's plentiful, yes, but food is very tricky. Oh, you were being too sweet. Mm-hmm. Look at those paws. You can see the nails. Look at the nails. Now, that's more similar to the canids than it is to the felids. Now, hyenas are not canids. But that sort of little aspect of them with the claws out at all times is similar to the canid family rather than the felid family. But overall, in terms of taxonomy, they are actually more closely related to the felids than the canids. That's a lovely bone you've got. Are you eating it or fall? Oh no, we're eating it. Okay. I don't think we're eating it, we're gnawing on it. But hyenas have their own little family. 4 of them, Hyena. Brown hyena, striped hyena, spotted hyena, and the aardwolf. And Marataba was a great place for brown hyena and aardwolf, believe it or not. My dream is to tick all 4 of them off my bucket list. Yummy. Now, we won't spend an extremely long time here. I think it's a privilege that we're just getting to be here. I've managed to catch up with many of the leopards, the Talamati pride, but it's really I need my hyena fix. And luckily Polly knows that. He's thinking, oh, if Lauren doesn't get her hyena fix, we're never going to hear the end of it. Leopard, actually there should be 2 cubs that are using the den. It should be Ngala and Ntima's son. But I really could also be lying. I mean, I have not spent time with the clan at the den in so long because they did move and they were just never there when we wanted to see them. So I hope I'm not lying to you all, but there should be 2 cubs that are using the den, one more so than the other. But Ngala means adore. And Ngala is June's daughter. Now, Ngala was born approximately sort of late November, early December. So 7 to 8 months now, so getting much older, but still den-bound. It won't be long now till Ngala's really sort of running around with June. Once they start to run around with Mom just at the year mark, they learn the lay of the land. They think, aha, there's so much more to the world than just a den, and I'm getting to go here, I'm getting to go here, and then they start running around when Mom is not there. And to be honest, that's the problem. That's what leads to devastation. Many of you are convinced that this is Ngala. I think so too, but really, it's a tricky one. Ntima's son is a little bit younger. He was born early Jan. So, I mean, there's about a month, maybe a month and a half between them. I am also convinced this is Ngala, but I'm also open to the fact that I could be wrong. And this mound is huge. I can imagine it's a luxury palace in there. And you guys living the high life? I think you are. There's obviously been a kill brought back, and somehow this little one's managed to get a bone as a little chew toy. Now, the jaws don't spring into action till about 2 years. So if this is Ngala, which I think it is, she's not eating the bone, you can see. She's just chewing, gnawing, just as puppies do, just as baby. Oh, stand up, that's better. Look at those long legs. I think this is Ngala. This is a very large little cub. Oh, this has been so wonderful. And as I mentioned, I'm not going to stay too long here, but we are just going to stay here a little bit longer.
Suspended above Kenya's Masai Mara is a breathtaking lodge where unrivaled service goes hand in hand with extraordinary wildlife sightings. Ngama Mara offers a quiet place where guests have the opportunity to reconnect with the world again. Sign up to be a WildEarth Explorer before the end of July, and you and a friend could win a 3-night stay at this award-winning lodge. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature.
Africa is very special, and when you come down here, even when you're watching through our camera, the landscapes change from desert to bushveld to up in the Masai Mara where there's grassland. That means that the biodiversity changes as we move along Africa. And what I love most about connecting with you guys is the fact that I get to share these wonderful experiences with thousands of people.
Catch up with the guides daily here on WildEarth.
Looks like it's a very difficult climb because every time it tries to climb, the ground is breaking, so it slides down. But it's the only one. Look at that. That is a call of desperation with a cub. It's like, what are you doing, mommy? Oops. Oof.
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
My name is Steve, and one of my favorite things at WildEarth is getting questions from you. The type of questions that I really like are those ones that really help us to unpack and understand and really integrate the ecological knowledge and fully appreciate the importance that animals such as these Cape buffalo bring to the ecosystem. If you want to ask a question on WildEarth, you're going to have to register on the website. But once registered, just head on over to the live safari page and enter your question under the live feed.
Look what's happened, everybody. We have not one, but two. Oh. I think we were looking at Ntima's son, actually. Novella is naturally going to be the bigger one. Stand together, you two. And both look at the camera, thank you. No. Ntima's son's just popped out. The lighter one. Navella's a lot fluffier, and we do need to get a name for Ntima's son. I'm going to work on that shortly. Can't keep saying Ntima's son. Ah! Am I allowed to squeal? There you go. It's over. I'm over it now. You guys, I have missed you. Why have you done this to me? Okay, so Ntima's son's at the front, the paler one, the less fluffier one, and the smaller one who's now got the bone and making off with it. Navella's at the back. It was Navella we were looking at. 100%. You guys were all right. She's taller. She's got very black legs. Morgan, I'll show you in just a moment. But this one's been very cute. Look at Navella's legs. You see how black they are? That's going to be a key way to identify her. She's going through that very awkward phase now that she's standing up. Her legs look far too big for her body. And that's this sort of awkward, like a teenager, an adult teenager human. They just go through a really awkward phase with their body. That's what's happening to Novella right now. Now, we're only going to stay here a few more minutes. But this has been exactly what I wanted and more. Caroline, 100%. What a lovely sighting. They're still an adult. They're just in the drainage line sleeping. I can see their spots moving up and down. But we can't give you a visual through all the trees. So don't worry, we're not breaking any rows, but it's just been so wonderful. Yes. I say to everyone, and I say to Tristan, if you go to that hyena den, I will never talk to you. And he bursts out laughing. He said, Lauren, I will not be going to the hyena den. It's amazing working with someone. We know each other so well that I know where he's going to go, what he's going to look for. He knows where I'm going to go, what I'm going to look for, where our passions lie. And he knows that if he comes to this den, there will be trouble. Novella, you're getting so big. Novella's also quite dark in the face. Whereas the likes of Ngwazi's very light in the face. Braveheart's the darkest, but I've noticed Novella's also quite dark. I'm just trying to pick out their features to be able to recognize them. Sir 51 hopes. One hopes very much, actually. Possibly, yes. They have a network that they use. I'm not sure they'll ever move back to the sort of Philemon's dip end, but there's a den on Nvubu, Galago Shortcut, Zoe's Road, Shabamu Road, and I am hoping that they come back to at least one of them. It's normal for them to move dens. I was actually surprised at how long they stayed at Philemon's Dip Den 3, to be honest. I think we lucked out there. Ribbon seems to have shifted her movement south. She's spending a lot of time on Chitwa and Little Gowrie herself, probably because it's winter. She's following the leopards. She's following the sort of predator action, where the food is. They also hunt, and Chitwa's got a massive open area with lots of sort of impala and antelopes. And I think because Ribbon's made that shift and Tima's sort of followed her and brought the den a little further south, that's my gut feeling. Oh, look at Tima's son. Wow, you've got a little spot pattern, huh? I'm sure many of you Hyena fans will be over the moon. This is more than I could have expected from this morning. And it won't be every day that we can come here, but we will get special permission every now and again. Oh, we're crunching that bone. But remember, hyenas are sort of, they suckle for up to 18 months, 2 years. So they're still very much dependent on mum. Yeah, they may nibble a little bit of meat and they may crunch a little bone, but really what's providing the bulk of their nutrition and health is mum's milk. So at least we know that this pair are all right. Did you get that name, Morgan? Bush Baby. Yes, we had a live sighting with Braveheart on my first drive back. So that must have been about 6 days ago now, possibly. My first drive back, we had Corky with Braveheart suckling on Chitwa. So Braveheart's all good and Gwazi's good. He's been sighted. This pair are good. Naturally, we know what happened to Shimbulu, I'm afraid. And it's Pumela and Gingarika that have big question marks for me. I haven't seen them personally. I'm sure they're fine. I just haven't been able to catch up with them. And it's those two that I really want to see. I know people are worried about Pumela, but I can't possibly say anything about either because I haven't seen them. And unfortunately, once they get to sort of Ngwazi, Gingarika, Pumela's age, they become really confident. And this is where they've got to learn how close can they approach a lion, what they should do when there's a lion pride there, what they should do when there's a leopard, and unfortunately mistakes are made.
Yeah, I think the last time.
I've got no comms, Morgan.
Bluebird says they've missed the hyena dance so much.
Bluebird, you have missed a hyena dance so much. Me too. Remember all the days we just used to sit and sit and sit and sit some more? Those were the best days. All the antics, all the nonsense. That's when you can really analyse a hyena den. I had someone call me up recently for assistance with trying to map out their hyena clan. Where do you start? How do you figure out who sits where in the hierarchy? How do you figure out who the matriarch is? I was trying to discuss with them how to do it, the best way to approach it. And really, at the end of the day, you need den sightings. That's where you're going to figure out who's dominant and submissive, who's at the top, who's at the bottom, which males are sort of in favour, which males are not in favour. You need den sightings where you can just sit and observe for hours and hours and hours. And we got so lucky with that last year. The den is so accessible. It's really close to camp. It's just too perfect. But it was always going to change. And those days have arrived. Change is upon us. But that's okay. I will always do my best to keep up with the Djuma clan. And I do think we've been here for long enough now, given special favours. And I think we've had more than enough of our incredible sighting this morning. You two, behave, stay safe, and move back to Djuma, please. So I believe there may be a leopard around, so I'm going to scratch around there and hopefully we get lucky with another kind of spots.
Well, we still have had no luck. We've left that area. I'm pretty sure it's Mulawati. There's no tracks coming out, and judging by the track on the road, it's just, well, he's not playing the right game. So we're just bumbling now, just seeing what else we can find. Trying to see if maybe there's any signs of any elephants, or might go and scratch around for that big buff herd that we had last night, going in towards Torchwood side. But yeah, just bumbling at this stage, not really too stressed about what's going on. We'll find something when we find something. I think sometimes when you overemphasize or over-stress about finding a certain animal, then it doesn't come to you. David, are you spotting tracks? Wonderful. Let's look at what David spotted for us. Yes, well done, David. Male leopard track going in. Now, which male leopard this is, I have no idea. It would probably be, I'd imagine maybe it's Mulawati when he crossed in, and then, but we'll check, we'll see where they go. It could be the ones that we already followed all the way up and through. I suspect that it could, if he goes kind of Philemon's and then turns up towards Quarantine, that's where it'd be. Alright, well, we're going to carry on. We'll just check where these go, and just in case it's not him, and maybe we'll have some luck.
Welcome back again. I can tell you that the temperature seems to be getting colder here. So as of yet, we are not seeing any activity. It's obviously still a little bit early this morning. So not even the birds are moving as of yet. Obviously this will change fairly soon. It's just the current cold condition. But as you can see, we're driving through a beautiful, nice open area now. And we're thinking that perhaps somebody would have come down towards the water. But it seems, not even the water, sorry, should I say, more to the open clearings. As of yet, nobody's come through. But you can see, if you look at the ground, you can see all the disturbance in the sand. Just massive numbers of wildlife are coming through here. During the daytime to get to the little pan of water. But pretty quiet here so far. We're going to keep driving, keep going along, and we should start seeing signs of life fairly soon. Surprisingly, there's almost zero wind today, so that's always a welcome relief for game viewing, for wildlife watching. But yeah, very, very chilly. So we're going to leave you to head off to Pridelands for the bushwalk.
Welcome back to Pridelands, everybody. Welcome back to the ground and to a track on the ground over here. And you can see it is next to the knife that I've put on the floor. And we'll look closely. You'll see that there's a double track on the floor over here. Now, it's not always easy to identify tracks, but what you often should go and do is, first of all, measure it. Here is the back. There's the front. So we're looking at about 8 to 9 centimeters. And if you look closely in here, you'll see that this is a hoof there, and it's on top of another hoof, which is over there. Now, there's only a number of hoofed animals that what we call register, where they stand on top of their front foot. And that's the bushbuck, the Ngala, the Kudu, eland, duiker, steenbok. Just thinking of the animals that we find in this area. But looking at the size is big. So when we look at the side of it, there's the outside. So if we had to mimic that on the other side here, it's been stood on, remember, we get a sort of nice big rugby ball shape. And when we look at this track over here, you'll notice that the thickest bit is probably about here, 2/3 to the back. Not heart-shaped, it's almost rugby ball or American football shaped. When you look at a Ngala gets a bit more fatter towards the back. And when you look at a Kudu is very much rugby ball shaped. And I shall show you now in this wonderful book. Okay, so here we have the track of a male Kudu over here. There's about 9 centimeters for a male. That is the front and then the back. Now the back, in this case, is stepped on top of the front. It's what they do. It's called directly registering. It's a means of them walking silently. And if I move over to the left-hand page over here, you'll see exactly what we've seen here. Here is the back foot on top of the front foot. It's not always perfectly stepped on. You often have them stepping slightly on the side of it, but you'll often get that, what we call registering in the track. Very, very nice to see, and you can see the rugby ball shape. You see the thickest is about there. Not in the middle, but not all the way at the back. That is that of a Kudu, the greater Kudu that we find down here in South Africa. And an animal that likes to feed on leaves and browse, and they make a very loud whoa barking sound to communicate with the others out in the thickets. Now, we were hearing lots of noises just before, and we were following up on bearded woodpecker, calling for ages. I didn't know what was going on. So we got through to the area and we found a male bearded woodpecker with a grub in his mouth that if this was his beak, the grub was sticking out like this on every side. He'd obviously, and the grub, as he's pulled out of the tree, the woodpeckers, they peck, and they pull out these giant larvae of wood-boring beetles. And often those larvae are really, really juicy and fat, and he couldn't even get it in his beak. And so I think he was excited for that, or his wife or girlfriend was looking to try and get him to bring it back for her, or for maybe a potential baby. Anyway, it sounds like Lauren's got something in a tree.
We have just watched Mr. Shasha here jump up the tree. Oh, it was quite something. The hyena at the bottom, we can't show you right now, was jumping. I've actually never seen a hyena jump like that. I think this is Shasha, but completely open to you guys. Yeah, that's Shasha. I'm not open to anything. I've not seen you in a while, that's for sure. We're on Chitwa, but just a little bit inside Chitwa. And he's just jumped up the tree. The kill was there, but he's just jumped up to it. So I'm hoping this is his kill. I would imagine so. We're going to get better views shortly. But right now we are viewing from a distance. Yes. It's nice to have a leopard up a tree, on a kill, on a bamba. You can see the kill is a black-footed antelope, also known as the impala. It looks fresh. I think this kill is very fresh. But if Shasha wasn't up the tree on this marula with the kill, then there's a chance it could not be his, remember? Simba, Maribs and Shasha are all using Chitwa, all young male leopards. Simba's definitely the biggest. Tristan showed me a photo yesterday and I could not believe the size of Simba. What you waiting for, boy? Dig in. Oh. Shasha has a very distinctive face. I think he's a double of his mom. His mom is Sabi. And there's a hyena lurking around. We'll try and give you a view in just a moment. Oh, Elton. Anna Marie, you're saying, yay, spots. Yes, spots. I'm over the moon. I had a funny feeling there would definitely be a leopard on Chitwa. I mean, Chitwa is pumping right now. But then we got given special permission to go and view the hyenas, of course. So we've come back to Chitwa, and lo and behold, yes, there is a leopard. Mr. Shasha. Now, a lot of people get confused between Shasha and Langa. Shasha is the male, Langa is the female. And Shasha is S-H-A, S-H-A, not X-A, X-A. It's not Shangan. It's from... The word comes from Zimbabwe. It's brought by Paulie, who's from Zimbabwe himself, and it means sort of champion, stroke winner. A A lot of people think that Shasha is a female, but it's not. Shasha is a male. I'm just a little bit suspicious at his behavior. He's either... I just feel like he's a little bit nervous up there. Maybe he is nervous. Leopards will steal from one another. It's not just that, you know, it's... Because he's really smelling. And I'm just wondering what it is he's smelling. Is he smelling another leopard? A leopard's not going to resist a kill in a tree if they sort of find it and it's sort of available. There's no one on it. It's so good to see Shasha.
What's the latest update with that Ingwe Pachitua?
He's not eating it. Do you see that?
Is there any block with that Ingwe?
Elton, we appear to have lost comms. Did you get that?
Cat today has become.
I mean, yeah. I'm not here in my director right now. Okay, we're going to sit here with Shasha, possibly reposition a little bit, but I'm not going to go anywhere.
Educating our youth about the environmental threats we face is critical. Our future depends on it. The Wildlife and Environment Society of South Africa, WESA, is actively leading the charge. Their goal is to encourage children to fall in love with our natural world and to empower them to live sustainably in the future. Through their school programs, the children learn to report on environmental issues through videos, articles, and photos.
The WildEarth program has changed my life in so many beneficial ways. Being out there at the workshops, I was entitled to talk with others, socialize, as well as my writing skills and leadership skills have improved, so it has been great.
WESA is a membership-based organization. By joining WESA, you will be helping to provide valuable support for these youth education initiatives.
My favorite animal is a leopard, purely because I just think they are just the epitome of feline grace and power, and the way they can move about in any environment and remain hidden until they want to be seen, I just find incredibly intoxicating, and they're amazingly beautiful.
Catch up with the guides daily here on WildEarth.
Okay, there's another big male coming in from our left here. Another big male, look at this. This is the one. Now you're going to see sparks fly, guys. Guys, it doesn't get better than this, eh? Yes. Unbelievable. Africa, I love you, eh?
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth Daily.
Hi everyone, my name's Daniel Fisher and I'm going to be your guide this afternoon. I'm looking really forward to taking you through and showing you all the beautiful places here at andBeyond in Ngala. If you have any questions, please register on our website. Once registered, go to the live page feed and post your questions underneath the live feed. Join me on my next safari through andBeyond in Ngala on WildEarth. Send me live questions through the WildEarth website and I'll answer them live from the African bush.
Hello again. We are still driving along here. I think I can confidently say that this is the coldest morning we've had so far for this winter season, and it's evident in the response to the wildlife. Having just said that, we've started now seeing a little bit more of the bird activity. The fawn-coloured larks are out and singing. So that's always a welcoming sign when you do start getting a bit of bird movement, a bit of bird noise. It's a good sign that things are slowly but surely starting to warm up. But it has been brutally cold this morning so far. But you can certainly see on your screens now that the sun is catching the dunes, and like I was saying earlier, with the extreme temperatures we get and extreme changes in temperature from day to night, you'd be pleasantly surprised how quickly the ground actually warms up once the sun is touching it. So we are still going to be driving along, and for now I shall send you across to Lauren and her leopard.
Oh, Lauren, you're welcome to go in there.
Thank you so much. Okay, we've got two leopards here, Klalamba's here, everyone. I knew that was not Shasha's kill, or maybe it is Shasha's kill. But he can smell another leopardess. I knew it. Klalamba's here apparently, or has been identified as Klalamba. WildEarth approaching the lock of Shasha. Okay, I don't know where the other leopard is. Okay, I'm gonna go this way. Let's see if we can get the view of the two leopards. Now, this is a good view of Shasha. Okay, I just stalled in front of everyone. That's embarrassing. We'll be able to see if it's Klalamba, but it's been identified as Klalamba. Morgan, can you work with this angle? It's not ideal, but I'm just hoping. Ah, there's the other leopard down there. You see, Morgan. Yes. Oh, it looks like Klalamba to me. Oh my goodness, we've got Klalamba and Shasha. Oh, Hyena, who are you? June, hello, June, my girl. Look at that fat tummy. Okay, we've got June, Shasha up a tree, and Klalamba in the thicket. I don't know if that position. Are you happy with this position, Morgan? I don't know what Klalamba's going to do. I don't know if this is Klalamba's kill, because he was very unsure when he first climbed up the tree. And he was sniffing and sniffing and sniffing, and to me, that shows signs that he's unsure and he's smelling around to understand whose kill that was. Or whose kill it is. I don't know what Kalamba's gonna do. Now, Kalamba and Shasha are not related. All my favourite animals in one sighting, my goodness. Can you hear the crunching? I'm not sure if you can hear it. That's quite a gruesome view. Ugh. The only reason I've positioned here is because if Kalamba starts to move, we'll get a really good view of her. Okay, I don't think you can hear the crunching. Elton, I can hear you beautifully in my ear again. Look at June at the bottom there, just chilling. Just chilling. She's surrounded by 2 leopards and she doesn't care. She's gonna fall asleep. So you can see why June wasn't at the den with her daughter then. She's here. Shasha's hungry. I'm wondering if this was Kalamba's kill when he's just stumbled upon it. I don't know, I'm not sure. Look at Kalamba. Aaron, I think it's the stomach content, I'm afraid. It's not very delightful to look at. I'm not sure, maybe. I mean, we can zoom in. Of course, the rutting season has just finished, so it's very possible that the impala could be pregnant. That's not so nice. But very possible the impala's pregnant and the stomach. As you know, the rutting season is over now, so many of the ewes around here will be pregnant. Kalamba's just watching. Now, Shasha's a young boy, but he's still a boy. Kalamba's got to be careful. Can we just take a quick look at Kalamba? She's just staring. Can you see her? There we go. Yeah, that's her, is it not? Nope. Move to the...
There's just a clump of grass in the way.
Okay, you've got a bit of a... Do you want me to go forward for you? You should be able to get her now. You see that? That's a leopard, everyone. Honestly, how relaxed June is right now just blows my mind. She knows her position in this hierarchy. She knows she's a big hyena. She's huge. Juna's a particularly big female, and she's snoozing. She's got 2 leopards, one above her, one in front of her, and she's sleeping. She sees something, though. Juno, be wary of other hyenas. She's not worried about the leopards. Not at all. What an unexpected morning at the den. And then now 2 leopards and June. And it's not the best views we've got of Shasha, but other vehicles are here, and we're in a really good position if Kalamba decides to move. Now, not so long ago, when I had Dawn, Gabby and Sergio with me on our Ticket to Dream, Tandy had a kill. And Darren and I got the kill, we got the hoist, and that afternoon Mareebs joined her in the Mowati. And then Kalamba came and just caused chaos, basically. Had a fight with Mareebs and tried to steal the kill from her own mother. But here, she's been very cautious. She's not moving. Ah, what a morning. I'm going to sit here as long as I can and watch the action unfold.
Maybe 18 months.
Well, we're still bumbling. There's not much has changed on our side of the world. Very, 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 very quiet. The only thing there is tracks from WILDwatch, which has just walked everywhere. So it's been a quiet sort of start to our day, but oh well, it's fine. Sure we'll see something at some point. Just got to keep bumbling along, and eventually things will come our way. It's starting to warm up. Oh, there's some buffalo. Now, I'm wondering if the tail end of the herd is not closer to the road, because these guys, where they are, is a horrible area. Let's go a little bit further up and just see if we can't get them a little better visual of the herd itself. I wonder if little Mareebs is following this group again. It's the same buffalo from last night. Always a good thing when you get buffalo, just to check carefully on your way in, because of the lions that could be around. Sometimes with buffalo, the lions will kind of make their way in and sort of hunt them on the edges, so always good just to double check as you go. Alright, well, we'll sit with these buffalo for a little bit. We'll see what we can maybe find on the fringes. But otherwise, it'll just be nice to hang around with this big group.
Welcome back, everybody, and welcome back to some more tracks in the sand. And it's a track I know very well and actually saw the animal as well at the same time, so I was 100% certain. But it's a very nice track to see. Now, first of all, as we always do, we put a measurement down. There is the back toe. There is 1 toe, 2 toes, and 3 toes. Definitely that track of a bird. So there it is there, and it goes up to pretty much halfway on the knife, so I'd say 4.5 to 5. But we watch how it walks. There's 1 foot, 2 foot. Then he stood there, actually pecked the ground right over there, and then stepped again, stepped again, stepped again. Now, almost looks like barbed wire walking along the ground. Now, what's very nice about this track is if I drew a line through the middle, you notice that the toes are all pointing inwards. That middle toe, all pointing inwards, not pointing outwards. And you see that? So the line of the track would be like that. You can see that that toe's forward. The line of the track would be like that. That toe's that way. The line of the track, that toe's that way. So they're all pointing inwards, and that's a term known as pigeon-toed. We often refer to it with people who walk with their toes like that. Pigeon-toed. I walk with my feet out a bit, something known as duck-footed, because ducks walk like that, and that's where we get our, when we have that posture change. So walking with your toes in called pigeon-toed. So doves and pigeons walk with their toes in. And so this is the beautiful track of a dove, and it was the track of a ring-necked dove walking and pecking at the ground as he goes, looking for some seeds. Doves walk around the ground looking for seeds from the grasses that have accumulated on the ground, and they've got a very nice polarized lens on their eye that helps them to not see these little stones. Can you see this little stone over here? Little crystals on the ground. So many tiny little stones that would actually reflect the sun's light. And seeds don't reflect the sun's light. They sort of absorb it. And so they've got this polarized lens so they know what's stone and what is seed. It's a very nice adaptation. Walk around with your polarized lenses. I'd love to have that evolutionary adaptation. Unfortunately, I don't. So I have to squint when I look back at you. So remember that. Very nice. The dove, when they walk, pigeon-toed. They've got 4 toes visible because they're able to perch when they sleep at night. They perch, but the back toe is actually a bit of a disadvantage for birds walking. It adds a bit of sort of drag. It adds things to it. Many of our ground walking birds or birds spend a lot of time on the ground have lost that back toe altogether. In the case of this small bird over here, which is one of our little corsair. I think it's a corsair. And that's got 3 toes. A little snow angel over there. Jackson, some birds will walk. The dove here walks. Our small little passerine birds, so our little seed-eating birds such as the waxbills, the finches, they all hop, hop. Let's see if I can find you a track right here of 2 hopping birds, because the seed eaters, they land and they don't have long enough legs to walk, so they hop. Doves, starlings, they stride. Hornbills will stride as well, but they also hop. But they got a very strange foot. Obviously now we're not going to find, here's a hornbill track. There's the hornbill, his 1 foot, 2nd foot and 3rd foot. There he's walking. Sometimes he hops. I don't see any small seed-eating bird tracks here. We had quite a few where we were looking yesterday, but they're quite easily seen by tracks that sort of do this. That's the hopping that goes on. And then you look closely in there, you'll notice the little toes. But they're quite long, because all these little seed-eating birds have got the back toe, which they use for perching. Now, we refer to that in those birds. We call them passerines. Now, a passerine is a bird that's got the 3 front toes and the back toe all on the same level. also known as perching birds. Basically means that there's muscles and ligaments in the legs that enable them to sort of lock those joints together and helps them to perch. Many of them are songbirds, and we've got many of them around, and do find tracks on the ground a lot when they land and they hop around looking for seeds. 5-finches, quelias. Here we go. There we go. Can you see that? Very, very cute. Look how tiny that. 1, 2, 3, and the back. 1, 2, 3, and the back. Hop. And I don't know where he went to, so probably took off there. Okay, well, leopards also eat birds, but sometimes we find them in trees eating impala.
Shasha is still feasting away on this impala here. We have repositioned. I think this is a little bit nicer rather than looking at the other side, which wasn't, it wasn't so nice. June's still at the bottom. Kalamba we can't give you a view of right now, but she is still... Oh my God, June just got it. June! Shasha, you dropped the entire inners. Ladies and gentlemen, that is why hyenas wait at the bottom of trees. Oh! Everybody's laughing at me. I didn't expect that smell. Enjoy that, Morgan. Morgan said it's delightful. Oh, he's dropped another part. June's gonna go. Shasha boy. June is your lucky day, girl. Kalamba, it's not your lucky day, girl. Get Shasha. Oh, June has just opened up the stomach. It was the stomach. You're saying June's patience finally paid off. Oh, yes. She helicoptered the stomach to get out the inner part and, blasted us all in the face with a delightful aroma. Oh, June. Hyenas, they really don't have table manners at all. Never invite a hyena to your dinner party, ladies and gentlemen. It definitely wasn't pregnant. It's a male. Have a look at the horns. And well, that male could have been pregnant, and we've just made a remarkable discovery for science, but that was the stomach. Pure stomach content. Shreya, you're asking how often do you see new leopards? Not too often, I guess, but I do think... Look at Shasha's face. Sorry, Shreya, there's a lot of action going on here. Shreya, I think leopards move constantly. I think there's a lot of movement that we don't see, tracks that we pick up on and don't know who they belong to. have to be very lucky to catch a new individual. Darby and I got a new individual not so long ago. But I guess going into another leopard's territory is really quite... quite a brave thing to do. Okay, I'm gonna sit tight here. June's obviously had a feast, but I'm not entirely sure what Kalamba's going to do. And we're gonna send you guys over to Tristan.
Well, while Lauren is busy with that, we are in amongst a herd of buffalo, which is always quite nice. This is that same herd that we had last night with Marips. They've come out of Chitwa, Torchwood, and then from Torchwood into Djuma, and are just kind of feeding their way along. And lots of very heavily pregnant cows in this grouping. There's some that look like they're about to pop. Oh, this one's got a big hernia. See that, David? The one in front here, and this on its stomach.
This one?
No, next one. To the back, left, behind the bush. That one. If you look on its stomach, hopefully when it comes out, you'll see it's got this big hernia on the tummy. But yeah, this herd is slowly moving into Djuma. I don't see any sign of lions kind of trailing it at the moment. There you see that kind of hernia sticking out the bottom there. Also heavily pregnant. This particular buffalo cow. Lots of them are, like I say. I would expect that we might see a few newborn buffalo. And following herds like this can be some of the easiest ways to see a live birth. These buffaloes are not shy to give birth in amongst the herd and with you present. Actually, probably one of the animals I've seen give birth the most is these guys, and wildebeest too. There's also yellow-billed oxpeckers around, which is cool. I can't see one now. I can hear them calling. But they are in the herd. I saw some just now. That's always a treat to see with these big buffalo herds. They for some reason attract the oxpeckers much more so than what you'd find from things like rhinos or impalas or kudus. Find the big buffalo herds is a great place for oxpeckers to survive. But it's difficult to make out how many buffalo are here because they're so spread at the moment and it's quite dense bush. The herd is actually quite large. There's probably a good, I would imagine, 300 buffalo in this section, even though you can't see that many. It's about how many there are in this group. And the nice thing is that they're slowly feeding their way deeper into Djuma. And the direction that they're traveling at the moment will eventually take them towards kind of the central part of Djuma and towards Gari Dam and the camps, which will be nice. Just on those of you that were wondering maybe about the leopard tracks that we had earlier, so the tracks definitely were for Mulawati. We followed them. They were as fresh could be, and we found where he was lying on the road, and then obviously he heard us coming and he just scampered off the road. You could see where he got up from the road and ran off. And there was a herd of impala there, and we trailed and tracked and kind of drove around those impalas, and he's just hiding somewhere there, but it must be for him because he was scent marking heavily. He was also calling this morning apparently. So if we add those, and the tracks come from the south as well, they come out of Arathusa, across Gari Main and then into Djuma from there. So just doesn't want to be seen, but maybe this afternoon or this evening. We know in the evenings he's a little bit less shy, so we'll try and see if we can maybe find him a little bit later. In the meantime though, let's send you across to John and see how he's getting on at Tswalu.
Hi, I'm Nikki, your guide here at andBeyond in Ngala. So my favorite animal in the African bush definitely has to be the zebra, because like people, with our fingerprints, every single zebra has a different stripe pattern. And, of course, a group of zebras together is called the dazzle. How unique is that? Come and join me or one of my colleagues here in Ngala for a sunrise and sunset safari on WildEarth.
I've seen something I've never seen here before. Look at these cubs. One is crossing the river. It's being washed away, unfortunately, but I'm sure the mother is going to save her. Look at that. How beautiful. Look at that. One crossing, two to go. How cool is this?
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
Hello, I'm Marna, your WildEarth safari guide from andBeyond Ngala. What I really like about connecting with WildEarth viewers is that we get to speak to viewers instantly, and I get to show you this beautiful property. If you want to ask me a question, register on the WildEarth website. Simply head over to the live safari page and you can submit your questions there. Join me or one of the other guides twice a day on WildEarth.
Well, we're still with our buffalo. They're, well, taking it very, very easy at the moment. They're just milling about and feeding. Doesn't seem like there's anything trailing them. They seem pretty relaxed and, well, quite frankly, we're kind of on the trail back end of the herd. We've just driven along it slightly, so this herd is spread very kind of wide. They're in a sort of tight line if you had to go sort of from the back to the front, but from the left to the right, there is very, 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 very big grouping, and quite spread from there. But they're slowly meandering their way down and into at least a better area. This section where some of them are to the left of this main grouping is very dense and thick and hard to follow, whereas where they're heading now is to a more sort of open clearing area and then back down towards the Mulawati. So we'll stick with them for a little while and just see what they get up to. It's a big cow here, in fact a big bull and cow. It's quite a nice example of the horn structures of each one and how cows can also have quite big horns as well. So you see the cow just push the bull there. There she goes. This herd is big, big, big. I can hear buffalo far down the slope, heading kind of towards the Mulawati. Now, talking about heading somewhere, it is going to be that time where you can start to book your WildEarth expeditions for 2022. For those of you that want to come and join either myself or Steve or Jonty on a safari here at Djuma, you can log on to the WildEarth website on Sunday at 7 p.m. Central African time, and bookings will open for those. So if you are keen to come out and experience herds of buffalo and look for the characters of the Djuma kind of environment, from lions to leopards and various other things, then that is for you. So hopefully we'll see you guys out here next year, and there's a few different dates throughout the year that you'll be able to choose from. Buffalo, you happy there eating your grass? David, I think let's try go round. The road is not far from here, and maybe we can get a much better sense of how many there are and also get ahead of them so we're not just staring at grass and bushes every 5 minutes. Because I know the road is right here. So I'm going to try and get to the road and follow these buffalo along. In the meantime, back across to John in Tswalu.
So we are still sitting here with a little family of meerkats that we've been watching for the last 5 or 6 minutes. I was saying a bit earlier they've risen quite late out of the burrows, and we're seeing more than 4, but obviously some of them are quite late getting up. And again, it's just a direct correlation to the extremely cold morning we had. So they are now, 100% enjoying the sun, warming their bodies up and preparing for their daily activities, which would be from here to go and forage for food, and lots and lots of digging ahead, pulling out all sorts of nice grubs and insects and scorpions, whatever they can find. But very typical, they're just enjoying this early morning sun. You can imagine, being such a small creature, how nerve-wracking the early mornings are. Never being quite sure who's going to be sitting outside waiting for you. So you can see their heads are on a swivel literally all the time, and as much as they position their bodies to the sun, their heads will continuously move, looking for predators. But we're going to enjoy watching them as they warm up, and we're going to head across to Lauren and Djuma.
So much action here. So much action. Kalamba tried. She tried. There's been lots of growling, really deep sort of vibration. She's looking up now, not happy, stomping her feet, scent marking. She wants her kill back. June is just like having a great time. June is just not phased at all. She's in the middle of two leopards fighting, and she is completely unfazed. She has stomach content all over her face. Shasha's, look at him. You see that fast, rapid breathing, saliva. That's normally what happens when two leopards come. They're fighting. The vocalization was incredible. It's her kill. She wants it back. June's been jumping. She keeps trying to jump up the tree. June. This is getting tense. They are about, obviously he's up the tree, but they're about 5 meters apart. Maybe 6. Look at that. In one frame, we've got 2 leopards and a hyena. Shasha's panting rapidly. I just love that June is just there. She's just there. You would think that she would maybe be a little bit scared that there's 2 leopards fighting, but nope, not at all. Kalamba might be a little bit more confident if June walks off, which is what she's doing. This has been so tense. Girl, I'm sorry you lost your breakfast. I would also be extremely angry. I would be angry. See the saliva dripping off her chin? I'm not sure if you can see it. It's just glistening in the sunlight. They're salivating. That's what leopards do when they meet another leopard like that. What you gonna do, girl? She's walking away. I don't know if she's giving up. Or whether she's just going to sulk in the bush. Oh, she's scent marking. She's angry. She's stomping her feet. I'm not sure if you can see her. She's very far away now, but she's just did the scoosh, scoosh. She's now stomping. I can't see her now. I've completely lost visual of her, but I don't think she'll leave. She wants that kill. My heart is racing from those vocalizations. Yesterday it was Semba and Maribs, and now it's Tlalamba and Shasha. This has just been an incredible sighting so far. We're going to sit tight and see what else unfolds. Tlalamba seems to have disappeared. Tlalamba Ingwe, just there. Yeah. Tlalamba's Bamba. Shasha came. Ah.
And it took over.
Yeah. Tlalamba, she's just there, and one Misi. Sorry, everyone. Herbie's just arrived on the scene, so I'm giving him the update. Shasha's still worried, but I was just saying to Morgan, these young boys are confident. Marips is so confident. Shasha's confident.
Thank you, station. I'm pulling out of Tuingwe. I left 2 station on the...
But I don't think she's going to leave the area. I have a funny feeling knowing Tlalamba, she's just going to go quiet for a little while. So he, as in Shasha, forgets about her presence. He calms down because he's panting, he's salivating, he's upset. That's the body language leopards express when they're upset. You see that? See how he's panting so heavily? I mean, he's not exhausted. That's through adrenaline. And I think she's just going quiet and she's going to make her move. Tlalamba's not leaving, I know her. She's like me, she's stubborn. Morgan's laughing. It's true. Actually, she's a November baby. I wonder if she's a Libra. I'm an October baby. It's possible she is. Anyway, I'm joking. I do think it is her kill. And she's just hiding in the thicket there. She's got to be careful. Shasha's big. He's young, but he's big. And there's also June here to make matters worse. She can't risk injury. She can't risk a bite or a scratch. So she wants her kill, but she's also got to play it very carefully. Look at that back right paw. Too cute. Look at that. It's big. And Sabui was seen with another cub on Little Gary. She hasn't been seen since with that little cub. So she's either just moved ends, or she's lost a cub. I'm really not sure which. But since that time that I announced it a few weeks ago, the cub's not been seen. So, Shasha boy, if your mom's had another baby, then you're on your own. Okay, I'm gonna sit here. You'll be right back with us if any action happens. But for now, over to Tristan.
Well, from what sounds like quite an action-packed sighting to very mellow, very relaxed, kind of meandering buffalo herd that is seemingly endless. There's actually more here than I thought. This herd must be probably closer towards, I don't know, maybe 400, 500 animals here. It's a big grouping. I don't know where all our yellow-billed oxpeckers are going. Oh, there's one that's just landed right now. That you see that buffalo there, David, the one that's got the on its face. There's a whole bunch of yellow-bills in the area. They're a nice bird to see. Like I say, there's not an oxpecker that we see as much. You know, the red-bills are the ones that we normally kind of see in this area. The yellow-bills are only really on these buffalo herds like this. But what's nice about it is to see how many yellow-bills I've seen in the group. Just now there was one buffalo that had a good 5 or 6 yellow-billed oxpeckers on them. So that's always nice to kind of see that they're doing better. Their numbers really declined quite heavily during the rinderpest anthrax outbreaks in the early days, in the early 1900s. Their numbers kind of declined with that, and then also with the dipping of cattle and making sure that cattle didn't have high tick loads. That resulted in quite a big decline in yellow-billed oxpeckers. Now remember that the ticks, even though the decline in them was quite drastic, and that's why it led to the decline of the oxpeckers, the ticks aren't actually what the oxpeckers are after. While they do feed off ticks, it's what's inside a tick is what buffalo or what oxpeckers want, is that they want the blood inside there. So remember that oxpeckers are sanguinivores, and so when ticks have been feeding on mammals, they're getting the blood out of the buffalo and to a place where the oxpecker can grab it. It's why that they farm wounds, so it's why you'll find them picking at wounds to try and cause bleeding, and they then land and they basically drink the blood up. And so that's why they're after, the parasitic insects on buffalo, not because they actually like ticks themselves. Chris, it is a massive herd. It would be nice actually to see them kind of out in the open. We've kind of come from the back end, and there's still, I reckon, behind us maybe 100 different buffalo, and in front of us maybe even double that. So it's a big grouping, and they go quite far kind of into the block from where we are at the moment. Like I say, I'm hoping they kind of make it towards Gari Dam or Quarantine, where we can actually get a true sense of the size of the herd, and kind of be able to count them out and figure out how many we actually have here. But it's big, that's for sure. There's a lot of buffalo milling about, and there's a lot of pregnant ones, a lot of little babies. It's so nice to see, because buffalo for us, for a number of years after the drought, or since 2016, have been animals that we haven't seen much of. They reckon that here in the Sabi Sands we had between sort of 65 and 70% of our buffalo population died during the drought. So that's quite a heavy decline in the population. To see these herds kind of bouncing back and coming through again is wonderful. All right, what we might do is we might stick around with them. I'll see. We'll maybe meander on. In the meantime, though, let's send you across to Steve, who's busy tracking.
Welcome back, everybody. We've got two very nice tracks here that are very similar in size, and they're right next to each other. First of all, we've got this over here. Looks like a hoof, and with the kudu before as well, we've got the front hoof there and the back hoof sitting on top. Size, we're looking at 4 centimeters, 3.5 to 4 centimeters. And then in front of it, we've got this beautiful little track here with the toes, 1, 2, 3, 4, back pad. And it's a little bit messy because this animal was moving quite quickly, because there's the other foot, there is the front. That's the front and that's the back foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is another animal that also does a very similar register to what this animal does. Direct register that we find in many of our predators, many of our cats. Beautiful little track, and once again the size is less than 3 centimeters. But we're going to quickly send you over to Djuma.
I have just witnessed the worst leopard fight I have ever seen. My heart is racing. She came out and attacked him. He came down. I don't know where she's gone. They fought. She whacked him across the face. My heart is racing. Is yours, Morgan? I don't know where she's gone. June got up and just ran in for fun. Oh, he's still salivating. Tlalamba gave him an absolute hiding. I don't know if you say that. Do you say that, an absolute hiding? Is that a Scottish term? Maybe. He came down to rest in the shade and she just ran out and absolutely smacked him across the face. I can't see her now, but I know she's not left. And that was what she was doing, her behavior. She was moving off, hiding in the shade so that he relaxes. He came down, he relaxed, he sat in the shade, and she ran up the tree. All the leopards are fighting. Look at him. Still panting very, very heavily. I think it's safe to say that Shasha and Kalamba are not friends. Can you see her now at all, Morgan? No. Neither can I. She went that way. She'll be lying flat. Herbie's chuckling away. That was just heart-stopping for everyone. I think everyone's heart stopped a few beats and it's just returned. Ew. I say this regularly, and I obviously don't want to sound like a broken record, but I do find it really difficult to see intra-specific aggression like that. 2 zebras fighting was one of the worst sightings I've ever seen with Mr. Brent Leo Smith, and seeing leopards fight, it's... I don't enjoy it. He got up the tree before her, though. She walloped him. And then he immediately ran up the tree. Bye, Herbs. We're the only one in this sighting. Wow, can you believe it? We've got 2 leopards and we're the only one here. Okay, we're going to sit here, Mr. Shasha. You're having quite the morning, and hopefully we'll get an appearance from Miss Kalamba soon.
Suspended above Kenya's Masai Mara is a breathtaking lodge where unrivaled service goes hand in hand with extraordinary wildlife sightings. Ngama Mara offers a quiet place where guests have the opportunity to reconnect with the world again. Sign up to be a WildEarth explorer before the end of July, and you and a friend could win a 3-night stay at this award-winning lodge. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature.
There's a grounding earthiness to this place that we feel in our ancestors. It's a place where, believe it or not, we evolved as a human species, and anyone who's come to Africa will understand that. The connectivity that the continent has to the person and to people's souls is next level. I'm thoroughly looking forward to taking you on your next adventure when we explore all the small and big things.
Catch up with the guides daily here on WildEarth.
You are cheeky. That was a brave decision. Amber Eyes is... Oh. That is so magic. That was absolutely wonderful. Amber Eyes just gave that cub an enormous hug.
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
My name is Lauren, and I'm currently working in Djuma Private Game Reserve here in South Africa. I love answering your questions during the live safaris. It's my favorite part. It feels like you're on the vehicle with me and I'm able to teach you exactly what you want to know. If you want to ask a question on WildEarth, then you need to register on our website. Once registered, you must go to the live safari page and ask your question below the live feed. Kalamba's walked off and he's watching her. We don't have a visual, but she has walked off. I don't know whether she's resting again, waiting for her moment, or if she really has walked off. Oh, Shasha boy, you've had quite the morning, I tell you. June's also disappeared. She's obviously bored. She's had her fill of the kill. But this is what happened last time, everyone. He came down. He wants to lie on the ground. This is exactly what happened, and Kalamba ran in. So let's hold tight here. He obviously wants shade. He's panting, he's salivating. He probably needs to cool down. And this is exactly what happened last time. I had to just hold on. She might have left, but she might not have. I think he's smelling her. He's following her. That's exactly the path she walks. She's scent marked on that tree that he's approaching. Let's see if he stops to smell it. Yeah, he's smelling it. He's smelling her. That's how he's getting to know her. Wow. Chris, you're saying our princess is surely a feisty one. My goodness, she ran at him like faster than lightning and walloped him across the... Oh, she's coming back, she's coming back. Okay, hold tight, everyone. She's looking. I can see her. Polly Tlalamba's here as well. She's just off to the right. Just letting everyone know there's two. Okay, he's moved off. I think she's going to come back. Do you see her, Morgan? Yep, she's coming. She's coming. My goodness, my heart is in my mouth. Because she can see the tree. She knows he's left it. This is exactly what happened the last time. And he's too busy smelling her. And analysing her scent, reading her chemical signature. Who is this chick? Yep, she's coming. I was going to say I'm on the edge of my seat, but I'm always on the edge of my seat because I'm so small. If I'm not on the edge of my seat, my feet don't touch the pedals. She's coming back. Yeah, I'm just going to go for it. That's my hat. Sorry, Morgan. happened about a meter away from the car. Kalamba girl, I am so sorry. June's also back. I feel like June's one of these characters that just loves drama. Kalamba's here, she's doing the roly-poly thing. She's now about under 10 meters from the tree. Like how you're saying, stand your ground, young man. Oh, I know, but I also feel sorry if it was Tlalamba's kill. Oh, and here comes June for no reason at all, just to join in the drama. June's walking right towards Tlalamba. She's going for Tlalamba. Not going for Tlalamba, sorry, just going towards her. She's not going to hurt her. She just wants to know if there's food. Talamba's St. Markin again. She's furious. I think she's going to keep doing this, just biding her time, hiding in the shade. She's up on this log, you see that? Julia, this is incredible. We've got June, just been June, we've got Tlalamba, we've got Shasha, lots of tension, aggression, intraspecific aggression, terrible aromas in our nostrils. It's really tense. It's tense to be here. I just love June's casualness. And look at, actually, this is probably not a wise thing to say, to be honest, but you can see the sort of size difference in June and Tlalamba. Yes, they're not standing next to each other, but Tlalamba's very slim. She's a petite little girl, and June is just a huge, huge animal. And you can sort of sense that from seeing that two-shot just there. Nice one, Morgan. You've got everyone in the one frame. Would you look at that? At the end of the day, the leopards are not really wanting to hurt each other. They just each want the kill. Tlalamba keeps backing off the minute he goes up the tree, but she needs to get up the tree first. That's what she wants. And June's going to go back to sleep. She just keeps running out the minute they fight. getting to spend time at my hyena den, and then now this. Sharon, I have no idea. Shasha, how long are you going to stay up that tree for, boy? I really don't know. You can see Tlalamba. She's still there. She's not hidden. I don't think he's going to come down while he can see her. He keeps coming down. He doesn't want to be up this tree. It's not comfortable for him. He's got a full belly. He's hot. He doesn't want to be there. It's not that hot in terms of ambient temperature, but he's salivating. He's angry. He will be hot. And he wants to lie down in the shade. Every time he goes to the shade, she comes. So I don't really know. I really have no idea how long this is going to play out for. Look at this. Oh, the scenes from this morning are really quite something. Now Kalamba's getting angry at June. She's talking June. I actually managed to get a photo of the fight. I don't know how I managed it, but I managed it. I'll post it later. You'll be able to see the fight. The first fight. It all happened so quickly. I wonder what the scenario will be this afternoon. Who will be here? Will they both still be here? Will the kill be gone? I really don't think he'll leave the tree whilst he can still see her. We are going to sit tight here and see what else unfolds on the story of the Djuma leopards.
Well, we're still in amongst our buffalo herd. Everywhere, really. It's just buffalo as far as one can see. Just trying to weed our way through this has been quite tricky. You can hear them bellowing and complaining. It sounds like little ones that aren't getting milk. There's one little calf that's obviously very hungry and complaining bitterly about being left behind. buffalo. They're getting a little bit twitchy now with us following them into quite dense areas. When we were in the more clear sections, they were a lot more comfortable, but now that it's getting into denser, thick areas, they're going to be a lot more hyper aware that something could be lurking. So we're probably going to leave them here and carry on. Let's hope we can maybe get something last minute as we slowly make our way home.
Welcome back to Tswalu. It has unfortunately been a very quiet morning out here. Signs of animals starting to move now, but it really has been a very quiet day for us so far. And like I've said many times, it'll all be related to temperature. But the sun is well and truly out, so things will definitely get better as we go along here. We're on our way currently to one of our more popular waterholes, and we are hoping there'll be somebody out and about there. Sure how much you can see there, but we are busy passing a small group of springbok, but we'll catch up with you soon, hopefully from the waterhole. For now, I'm going to send you across to look at some interaction with leopard and hyenas.
My goodness, Swazi's here, everybody. We got Swaz. Swazi's at the bottom of the tree, just running to the scene. I got many of my favorite individuals here. Kalamba and Swaz and June. Shasha. Kalamba's still on the fallen marula, sulking. I do feel sorry for her if this was her kill. A lot of energy goes into hunting, a lot. Stalking, ambushing, executing. But Shasha's been very possessive over this kill, that's for sure. Hello, Swaz, you've missed all the fun, boy. Nice to see you, though. He's gonna jump. Okay, Kalamba's on the move. She's out of sight. Don't worry, Morgan. But this could mean that the exact same thing's about to happen again. Once he sees that she's gone, he comes down. Will he come down when Swazi's here? I'm not sure. Let's see. But she's disappeared again. Sharon, it absolutely could. I would not be surprised if another leopard rocked up. But would they want to put themselves in that position? Got to remember, they don't want to risk injury. I mean, that fight was over in seconds, really it was. And they don't want to risk... They would kill each other, but they don't want to risk any injury to themselves. But I think this would... If Mareebs is in the area, he will understand what's happening here. Whether he wants to approach or not, that's a different story. It's vocal, it's noisy, there's hyenas, there's scents in the air. I knew there was another leopard. When I saw him up the tree at first, we were viewing it from a distance, and I could see the way he wasn't eating the kill. He was smelling. He was constantly looking. I knew there was something else around. I didn't quite expect it to be Tlalamba. From Tristan's interaction yesterday to this one to say today, my goodness. See, Swazi's also walking off now. This could mean that Shasha comes down. He doesn't want to be up the tree. Okay, we're going to sit here. If there's any action, you'll be right back with us. But for now, over to Tswalu, who have also found some cats.
So we've just gone past a warthole and picked up tracks of two cheetah, and fortunately they were walking along the road. So we're going to show you them in a second. They've just laid down here, and we should be finding them any second now. There they are. So these are two beautiful big males, and it is actually the same two that we found yesterday morning, right at the end of the drive. So our timing seems to be late on in the morning where they're actually getting active and moving. But they seem to be settling down for a bit of a break. As we were following them in here, we saw an oryx just ahead of them. And cheetah are typically daytime hunters. They hunt in the daytime to avoid conflict with other predators. You know, the more bigger apex predators. So potentially that's what they'll be up to in a short while. Interestingly, their last two kills that I've seen them on in the last week and a half have both been pretty much adult oryx. So again, cheetah not normally hunting things much bigger than themselves, but when you've got a coalition of strong adult males, it gives them the ability to be able to tackle some slightly larger prey. So don't be fooled by their laziness at this moment. It doesn't mean that during the day they won't get up and continue hunting. So yeah, just nice to catch up with them, and a bit of luck. We had the tracks, and the tracks left the road, and our eagle-eyed cameraman Gerrit, he spotted them walking. So yeah, let's enjoy looking at them for a few minutes. We're going to sit and enjoy watching these, what seems to be rather lazy cheetah now. And we're going to send you back over to Lauren with the leopard.
Now Now Shasha's came down the tree. He's sleeping in the shade. That's what he wanted. He wants to be on the ground. He wants shade. I don't see her, but this is exactly what happened the last time. Every time he comes down, she makes a run for it, and that's when the fight happens. I'm not entirely convinced that she's left the area, but I also don't have any visual of her. So let's just sit tight. She could appear out of nowhere, and round 3 will commence. Swazi's disappeared, June's disappeared. But he's not moved too far. He's watching the tree, which might deter her. But I'm just scanning for any movement. Come on, girl, come up the tree and claim your prize. If I see her, I'll let you know and we will try and extend the drive. But if we don't see her, maybe she has disappeared. I see a hyena, I see Swaz. I'm really trying to...
Okay, guys, I think...
And I really don't see her.
The action will cause when the female comes back.
Kalamba girl, where are you?
I don't think we'll have a problem with the hyena walking back to the kill area there. We'll have a problem with
She'll be biding her time. If we know Kalamba, that's exactly what she's going to be doing.
getting hot now.
I don't see her, I'm afraid, everyone. He's obviously positioned himself in such a way that he's guarding the tree. He's in the shade, but he's guarding the tree. Wow, well, what a drive. Started off with my favorite animals at the den and ended with action from Miss Kalamba, the Princess of Djuma, and Shasha, Sabui's son. So it leaves a lot of promise for this afternoon, because I'll tell you something, that impala is not going anywhere. But unfortunately we are. It's come to that time where we must say goodbye, but please do join us this afternoon. Have a fabulous day.